us playing that neutral ground, you don't know what you're going to get, right? So that's the differentiator. And like we told, I don't know if Kyle mentioned this earlier, but we're having a pro-Palestinian on as our very soon here.
A professional Palestinian? That's awesome. The way they said that just is like, yeah, we got a pro-Palestinian coming on too.
So I don't know who you guys are having on, but I mean, it depends on.
What I'm trying to say is like, how are we, if we're a neutral podcast, how are we anything like either side? If you know what you're going to get when you tune into either network.
No one is.
See, the thing is, that's why you're so great. You're perfect neutral medium. You don't know shit. So you're perfect for somebody that just wants to come on and show themselves. So here's the deal, chat. When you go on a podcast, like let's say that I went on, the Nelk's podcast. It's like, if you can hold it together and not just totally crash out, right? If they're not like, constantly like, making fun of you and, or confronting you with questions that you don't want to answer, right? Which, they couldn't, right? Then even if the majority of their audience hates your guts, they're like, femoid detected, opinion rejected, right? Even if they hate your guts, you're going to pick up some viewers along the margin. You're going to take some people that, had maybe a certain idea of you and you're going to change their opinion. You're going to at least neutralize their opinion. So now they're like, oh, I see that Bibi Netanyahu is a human being. He can hang out. He's a chill guy, right? That's really fucking dangerous. That's really fucking dangerous with somebody like Netanyahu, right? And so that's why a podcast like them, like if you're talking about somebody that's not really political, sure, fine, whatever. But if you're talking to, if you're bringing on like Nick Fuentes or Bibi Netanyahu, yeah, that's really fucking damaging because they're both going to try to present as chill people. They're both relying on you not knowing enough about them to ask them hard questions, to be able to ask them questions that they don't want to see. The only way that you can have somebody on and like Netanyahu and not actively help him is if you can hold his feet to the fire. All right. That's it. Hasan would be able to do that. That's why you'd never see Netanyahu on his stream. The Nelks obviously cannot. That's why Netanyahu wants to be on their stream. It's very simple. It's very simple.
It's fully neutral in that regard, right? Because like that's why I asked, like,
yeah, it's probably Ahmed. It's probably Ethan's friend. Ethan's the guy that what did he say, like that his entire family was killed by Israel, but he's still basically pro-Israel.
Would you, if Osama bin Laden wasn't dead, would you interview him?
Do you want? I mean, honestly, I don't know. That's a tough question.
Would you?
If Osama bin Laden wasn't dead, yeah, of course. And the same but it would be contentious in the same vein as the Benjamin Netanyahu interview. Like there are people that I interview that the American audiences would consider.
If you got bin Laden, you'd never be able to grill him because you would have had to go to Afghanistan. You would have mission to a cave and they would have.
No, I mean we're setting up a hypothetical scenario where bin Laden is able to like connect via Discord. You know what I mean? Like obviously, I'm not going to interview bin Laden with a gun trained on my head. That would not be a situation. Like that would not be the case. He's dead anyway. In the hypothetical,
right. Well, I mean,
would you be able to?
We interviewed him in the White House with fucking 20 people standing around us in suits. We didn't know who they were, so it's almost.
I think in that
not the same situation,
a little different. Yeah, I mean, respectfully.
Okay, so my point is, it would not. Would you be neutral with bin Laden in the same way that you're like a neutral podcast?
I think we would. Yeah, we would do our best to ask him tough questions.
Okay, all right.
I think
what
there's
about
a sense of
ISIS?
Understanding too, right? Well,
what about Adolf Hitler?
I think we'd always kind of play the neutral role.
You would play a neutral role interviewing Adolf Hitler. I don't think that's the case. I think you're just saying that right now because you want to.
We're just not the best at grilling guests and pushing back on them, to be honest. Like I said, we're not.
So hence a great reason not to have political guests, but you're not gonna look. They're getting something out of this too, right? Having Donald Trump on makes them feel important. Having people yell at Kamala Harris for not going on podcasts like this makes them feel important. They are getting something, they're getting an ego treat out of this, right? Out of feeling important. And that's what's causing them to disregard the very simple thing that Hasan's saying. Look, here's the deal. There's good people and there's bad people in this world. And there's some people that don't really know the difference. And if you're one of those people, right, you're not plugged in, you're not following politics, you're the wrong person, to be able to make those decisions of, yeah, like, should we bring this guest on? If so, what kind of questions should we ask them? You're a golden retriever. And that's what BB needs right now, is a golden retriever that can just sit there and wag its tail, and that's unfortunately what he's getting.
We're
Well,
not
I
claiming
think-
to be good
I
journalists.
think if
Like
you-
we can ask a question, but when it comes to like a follow-up question, I'll be honest, we're not the most, like, I've never claimed to be super educated on this.
Hasan, you haven't even watched.
And look, that's a skill. That's a skill. All right. Follow up questions, right? That's advanced interviewing. It's not something that comes but like the other thing too, do you want to ask yourself, how am I so successful?
Dwight Lan, super chatted $6.77. Have you seen the movie The Interview? Netanyahu would honeypot these guys' tears of joy.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Wait, that's the Willie Mack allegation, isn't it? Bad Empanada saying that Willie Mack got honeypotted. I haven't seen the interview. Is the movie right where they're supposed to interview Kim in North Korea, and instead they end up like or they're pretending they want to interview him, but they're really trying to assassinate him. Yeah, I don't think I've seen. I don't think I ever saw that.
the podcast.
I haven't. I haven't had time.
Oh, is it 35 now, Narwhal?
I don't know. I don't know
Okay,
what kind
so
of
I'm just
questions you
gonna
guys
let you know
ask,
the
but
first-
I assume.
Wait, listen. The first.
Yeah, you're
few
right,
minutes
it is
us sitting there
35.
Like, yo, we are not qualified to do this. This is insane. We acknowledge the fact that, yeah, you're right. We're not the best journalists. We're not the most fit to do this. But the fact that we have not.
But you got to ask yourself the question, all right? See, let's see if I can make a metaphor for this, all right? I go outside, right? I walk down the alleyway. I walk to the street. I walk by a club. And the hottest guy I've ever seen says, "Hey, how are you? How long have you been in Thailand? You know, my friends and I, we were have a little party, and I don't have a date for that party. Would you like to come along with me?" Now, am I going to say, "Hey, I guess I'm a fucking 10. I'm hot as fuck, and that's why this hot guy's interested in me. He can see what a high value lady I am, and that's why he couldn't help himself, right? I'm fucking hot." Or do I recognize that I'm probably a 6 on a good day, right? And that there's no way in hell that this dude like is like, just like, attracted to me, interested in me. Like, there's something else going on here. If I go to his party with his friends, chat, I'm going to come back with one less kidney, is what I'm saying. Like, you got to recognize that the same way as the Nelk Boys have got to recognize, if we're not good at interviewing, why do people want us to interview? Why does Trump seek us out? It's because if he goes to a real journalist, he's going to have to answer real questions, and he can't do that, especially if Epstein, even Fox News chat, asked him if he was going to release the Epstein files, and he's like, yeah, I'll release that. Well, not so much with that, because, there's a lot of fake news in those Epstein files, and I wouldn't want anyone innocent to get caught up in that, right? Like yourself, Trump, right? So, yeah, I mean, like, even Fox News is going to ask tougher questions to Trump than the Nelk Boys are. They're going to ask, probably tougher questions to Netanyahu. Why are they seeking you out when you admit to yourself you suck? You suck. You're not good at what you do, right? You didn't get famous doing hard-hitting interviews. You got famous doing pranks, right? Why do they want you? Ask yourself that. You have low interview skills. You have low critical thinking skills. Yeah, the world is confusing and you don't really know what's going on. Why do they want you? Why are they picking you? It's not because you're a 10. It's because they want that kidney. There we go.
Opportunity to interview a world leader. Two guys like us, we're going to jump on that just as I know you would. So
yeah, but the difference is the difference is like if there was a situation where I felt like I was ill-equipped for the task, I would just not do it. You know what I mean?
I didn't say we're ill-equipped, but I said there's people probably more fit.
Well, I mean, if
what about a feeder? Can we use gaming? Are these guys gamers? Could you? Yeah, a low fashion skills, absolutely. Could you use gaming language? Could you talk to them about like a feeder? You know, like why do they want to play you? You're not very good at League of Legends. Why do they want to play against you? Maybe it's so they can rack up the kills. Maybe it's I don't know. It's
if you're I mean, this is a unique opportunity. You have an unprecedented opportunity.
The Full Send podcast is. I'll be honest. No. Let's be honest. The Full Send podcast is never going to be the best line of questioning. Like, I'll be honest. That's the honest truth. Let's be real here. That's exactly, and that's why they choose us, and that's why the show.
They're not choosing you because they don't realize that you're ignorant and ill-equipped to ask hard questions. They're choosing you because they do know those things. That is a positive for them. Your lack of wherewithal when it comes to politics. I'm trying to be nice here, chat. I'm trying not to be ableist against a couple of podcast bros, all right? There's a lot that I could say about the Nelk Boys and their knowledge of world events, their level of analysis. But that's not the point, all right? The point is not to dunk on these guys' IQ scores, right? The point is to, everybody's got something that they're good at, and maybe you should stay in that lane. If it's goofs and gaffs like Ethan Klein, maybe you should stay in that lane. If it is pranks and whatever the hell else these guys are doing, giving each other wet willies, or I don't even know, chat. I don't even know. I'll be honest with you. I've never watched Nelk. I don't think I even watched their interviews with Trump. But yeah, just know what you're good at. Know what you're good at. And if somebody wants you for something that you're not good at, recognize what that is. Recognize that Netanyahu wants to use you as a fleshlight. In this case, please do not let him.
Is what it is because we're kind of dumb and we're not the best. We're not. Let me
ask you guys this: is there a person?
The podcast is what it is.
Is there a person?
Can we talk for a minute about the everyman? The concept of the everyman, because I thought I understood this. I always get like Tom Hanks or something like, right? It's like the well, maybe not after the QAnon rumors about him, but like, right, Tom Hanks at one point was regarded as the everyman. That's what, he played Forrest Gump, right? And Forrest Gump's whole thing is he's not very bright, but he's a great guy. He's an awesome guy. He's an amazing guy. Forrest Gump is never going to make you feel bad. He's never going to make you feel stupid. He's never going to, question where you've been in the big city and why, right. He's Forrest Gump and people love him for that. Right. And apparently that is a big part of the everyman thing is you're not an intellectual threat to anyone. Right. And it's just weird. You got to speak their language. Hey, Nelk Boys, don't talk to Netanyahu, bro. He's totally blue-pilled. Yeah, there we go. He's woke. Netanyahu is woke. That's what you got to tell him. This guy's woke. He's going to give you the woke mind virus. And he's going to say, come to Israel. As a guilty pleasure, sometimes I do watch Nelk when they went with the storm chasers through tornadoes, and Steiny absolutely screams like Ned Flanders. I'm trying to remember how Ned Flanders screams. Doesn't it like his tongue like wiggles or something? Did they say Fulsome podcast? No, this is the Full Send podcast. So for anybody that doesn't know, Full Send is like when you try your hardest. Like, right, if you're like I don't know, let's say you're doing sprints, right? And you're going to take a couple of days off, right? You might go full send. You might try, you know, I don't know, you might like, you know, run extra hard and try to set a personal record or something like that. That's what full send is, like your full effort. Like, I'm going to try for real this time, full send, right? So that's what their podcast is named after. And it's very much that like WL culture. I mean, you know, the kind of shit that like Aiden Ross, XQC, you know, it's along those lines.
That you guys wouldn't interview, because like we're also like now stuck on whether you guys should be interviewing Benjamin Netanyahu or not. I think if someone is
in today's age, like right now, I think that's a fair question to ask. Right now.
Oh wow, I didn't even notice, chat. Look at that. We got a Kaya cam. Is this new, chat? They're tryhards? I mean, I guess that's the name of their podcast, implies being a tryhard.
Like, would you what did you say?
Like, I think about right now.
You gotta speak to people that are live.
Like, I don't know, chat. It might as well be called like the Let's Fucking Go podcast. Like, that's the idea. Full send. It's like, let's fucking go.
Because
You can't
going
speak historically.
yeah.
We're saying right now because that's pretty much where we're at. So
Like-
if we could interview anyone right now, like who would we say no to? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
I can't think of someone.
Yeah, that's right, Ron Swanson. You got to use your whole ass. You got to use your whole ass. That's what it's going to take.
Okay, so like even out of like because the reason why I have to go back to historical figures that have conducted genocides is because like Benjamin Netanyahu is doing one right now, and he's not even the singular force of evil
But
here.
you're talking about hypotheticals, bro. That's where you lose me because you're talking
Well,
about.
I mean, the
things-
reason why
I
I'm
can talk about stuff
is trying.
like 100 years ago.
Well,
I'm sorry, it's not a hypothetical. Like that, there's 100,000 to 200,000 people that are no longer living on this planet, right? That yeah, I would love to tell you like I would love to see you tell them their deaths are hypothetical.
But now there are freaking communist invading radicals.
Welcome, communist invading radicals. All I know is the parody of him and the other Manosphere guys. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay. That's a good thing for us to watch. Do you want to watch that? Dwight Langston has just reminded me of, I think it's is it a Papa Meat video? Meat Canyon, yeah, Papa Meat. Where he this is more about like Tate, but Tate got kind of famous and big at the same time as these guys. And so Papa Meat put Tate and I think it's Tate, Aiden Ross, XQC. Let's see, what is this? Papa Meat or Meat Canyon Tate. Wait. Let's try Meat Canyon. Andrew Tate, Family Guy, Minion. Wait, what the fuck is this? Classic Tate W. Yeah, that's the one. That's what we're looking for. I think this is the one that chatters are talking about. God, I fucking kind of like, oh my God, how bad is that for me to say that I like miss Tate? It was a simpler time and a simpler place. I mean, obviously not really, chat. Obviously, here we go. Yeah, Aiden, oh, Sneeko was the other one. And then there's...
We've had success with phase one. Expensive cars. Vroom. Money. Classic Tate W. And most importantly, women. We do begin to...
Do people really think that it's that weird that Andrew Tate has a boxing stand? That's like a bob. That's like a bob unit that he has. Any fighting, any strikers in chat know what that is?
Classic Tate.
I feel like that's like the least weird thing about Andrew Tate. Yeah, he's a kickboxer. Of course he's going to have a bob.
W, man, you're the best. Women. But it's time now for phase two of our journey. And that, gentlemen, is self-love. Observe closely, gentlemen. Oh,
Yo, is this real? Full send it, Tank. Yeah, hell yeah, full send it, brother.
Well, I gotta try this.
Good idea.
Oh, fuck. Let me get a smoke off your cigar. Yeah. Here, take that. Yeah, put that in your mouth. Okay, I will. Oh, fuck. Blow that smoke out. Oh, I will.
Andrew, your cigar tastes so good.
Oh, my fucking God, that tastes so sweet. But not as sweet as you, baby.
I feel like it's giving Tom of Finland.
I don't think I have a meat.
He just needs a leather cap, right? To you know, he's like 3/4 of the way to a Tom of Finland already.
Oh, wait, yeah, here's one.
Oh no, they made a tape, baby. They made a tape, baby, chat. Oh no.
I'm a real tough bloke, aren't I? Oh,
Hey,
yeah,
wait.
You are. Oh, you are.
Hey,
you
wait.
big fuck. Hold on, baby,
Wait.
hold on.
Did he just give birth?
What's going on, lads? What's the problem?
Yeah, we just saw male. We just experienced male pregnancy, chat. There it is.
Like, you gave birth. That's like a woman thing, right?
Giving birth is like a woman thing. Yo, this is sus.
Like, one of you guys
I
are
love that they even got Sneeko's fisheye camera lens in.
female or a woman or something, eh? I don't know, like something. Full send.
Guys, I'm not a female. If anything, he's the female. What are you talking about? You were the one calling me baby the whole time, which is classically a female move. Fine. Let's prove who's a man right now, then.
Fine! What is going on? Bro, this is correct.
It's an illegal move for kickboxing. On Muay Thai, you might be able to headbutt.
Who am I?
Good question.
Bro, no! Bro! Yo,
It's okay. You still got the baby Tate
who will lead us now?
suckling on that bottle of sparkling water. There we go. We got baby Tate.
Money.
What did he say? What did you say, little baby? Girls should wear leashes like the dogs they are. Yo, full send it. Yo.
Stupid bitches!
W chat. Anyway, back to the content.
I'm using this as an
What do you think about having
analogy.
Putin on? Like Tucker Carlson had Putin on. Other journalists have.
Yeah,
there's
Tucker
war in
Carlson.
Russia and
Tucker
Ukraine.
Carlson had Vladimir Putin on, and when Tucker Carlson had Vladimir Putin,
Does Lethway have headbutting? It's maybe. I have only seen like one bout with somebody who does Lethway. Is that how you pronounce it? Muay Thai doesn't? I mean, I guess it would be the art of 9 limbs. If that no, I swear to God, my crew talks about headbutting.
Putin on, he did that in a capacity to do propaganda
Crew means teacher, chat.
for
in
Vladimir
Thai.
Putin. For sure, he didn't push back at all. He was there. He was in Russia, and he
Because
did it specifically
really
so he
can't-
could do.
You really can't in that situation.
I know, but that's precisely why, like, sometimes it's better not to take that opportunity. You know what I mean? That's my position.
What does full send mean in this context? Like they're saying full send it. I kind of just means go all the way.
Like for the
And
Tucker,
even then, Tucker
when I
Carlson,
saw
I
the-
can't
when
believe
I
I'm
saw
saying
the
this, but Tucker Carlson is he's still more equipped to at least have like follow-up questions. Like, think about the Ted Cruz interview that he had.
Oh,
Like, he obviously is.
Yeah, of course. Tucker's the man, in my opinion. But when I watched that Putin interview, like I thought Putin was like dodging questions and he like didn't answer anything. So that's what goes back to my point of like platforming someone and
Wait. I'm sorry. You thought that Tucker Carlson made Putin sweat? Tucker Carlson made Putin nut, chat. Tucker Carlson gave that man Tucker Carlson gave that man a ball massage. That's I don't know what interview you watched, but
just because we have someone on.
Like when you're doing a round kick, you know, like if you like you're supposed to kind of practice kicking, especially kicking high and missing, because a lot of people, when they throw a kick and the opponent dodges, they don't know what to do when their kick comes around. And if you practice missing, then you can learn how to kind of catch yourself again, right? So yeah, like full send is like you're fully committing to kick, because if you don't do this and you get your kick, you know, you miss a few times or you get your kick caught or something, then you'll find yourself like hesitating. That's not full send, and it's not going to be a very effective kick. Anyway, chat. I swear to God, I'm not trying to talk about
it doesn't always
striking.
mean a positive for the guest. And I mean, if you go read this comment section, like, I don't think this is necessarily a positive thing for Netanyahu.
Yeah, but it's not a positive thing for you guys either, because most of your audience is probably already anti-Israel and anti-Netanyahu. So now they're yelling at you guys.
So yeah, this is true. They did get lit up in their comment section, from what I've seen, from what I've heard.
Now,
I can sleep at night knowing like our intention with this.
Even Putin complained that Tucker, Putin wanted some teeth, right? They were like, he was like, I thought there would be teeth.
And you know, we're not pro-Israel. I'm not pro-Israel.
Tucker took his teeth out first.
I don't know enough about this conflict, to be honest. I only see what I read online, and I hear.
Okay, so again, like the subject matter is Israel-Palestine. When the guest is Netanyahu, I'm sorry, that's our fucking requirement. It's like if you show up to a class that, you know, I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example, biochem, and you don't know organic chemistry, right? You know, you're gonna kind of need to know at least some of those reactions to really, you know, to really understand what's going on.
Hear his point of view, then I hear your point of view. I really have no idea what's going on. I'd love to learn more. But
yeah, but I think you got to do that before you do an interview. Look, my point is this.
Okay, wait, but Hasan,
what you guys did is from my estimation, okay, what you guys did is no different than like what CNN does, okay? You just basically presented someone who is a war criminal, someone who is doing a genocide in a somewhat neutral light. And you can't be neutral.
They'd bring a flat earther on their podcast without any pushback. No, they would like, I don't know. They'd be like, that's the coolest thing in the world. Hey, maybe the earth is flat. Yo, did you ever think of that? Yo.
When you have someone like Benjamin Netanyahu.
Going to class without reading the syllabus? Yeah, but I've gotten away with that before.
Directly in an opportunity to talk to him. But that's what happened. So there is moral culpability here for you guys individually.
Well, I think this is the way we roll with this is it's going to give us the opportunity to get the biggest people.
Wait, holy shit! I didn't even realize your name's like a mashup of One Piece and JoJo's.
In the world, and I think you'll know by the Full Send podcast when you watch it. It's like, hey, we're going to watch these guys are going to get big guests. We might not necessarily get these guys grilling these people, and that's just what you're going to come to expect.
I know, but if you don't grill them, then all you're doing is like, you know, just like I said,
we're having them on, and people are watching.
You're having a sleepover with a war criminal. Is what you're doing. This is absurd. This is absolutely absurd.
The situation is basically just propaganda, no?
I still think people are hold on.
Wait, Tyler, you're missing the biggest point here. Son, we're looking to have someone from the opposite side and give them the exact same opportunity.
Okay, well, you would have to have. I mean, there is no
the opposite side. Yeah, they're all dead. They're all dead. They've been assassinated, right? And including the people that were trying to negotiate a ceasefire, right? This is Israel's This is Israel's secret move. Is like, you know, the ceasefire negotiations. Hey, kill the guy negotiating the ceasefire. They've done that twice. They did that to Hamas, they did that to Iran. I kind of think they did that to Hezbollah too, maybe 3 times.
Because like there's one side that's being genocided and the other side that's doing the genocide. So in this situation,
opposite
like it would be like interviewing the leadership of Hamas. You know what I mean? And that's illegal under. I mean, I don't think you would be able to conduct that on your own.
We would 100% do that if we were safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the Iranian supreme leader called me right now and we knew
if we were safe, yeah, you got to watch out.
If we were safe, we would obviously
yes.
Okay, the Iranian supreme leader is not.
Which I think it's funny. I think it's funny that you haven't watched yet because you're going kind of ham on us and you haven't.
Well, I haven't had the opportunity to watch it. I was going to get
I
to
understand.
it.
You're busy.
But
what I was going to say is that we did talk about Hamas. We did talk about a lot of these things.
I know, but just simply talking about it without having the proper knowledge and the proper equipment to be able to push
I'm
back
sorry.
when he's lying. Only
They're trying to use this as a defense. Like, we talked to Netanyahu about Hamas. It's not like we didn't cover that subject. That's not what Hasan is upset about, right? Chad, I've heard you can cook these things. Anybody ever?
But now
They're slippery. They're slippery. It slipped right out of my fingers. God, well, I guess I'm not cooking that one. But yeah, supposedly you can cook these
It was so peaceful up here, but now there are freaking communists invading
jackfruit seeds. Supposedly you can cook them up and they taste like nuts or something.
turns it into an opportunity for him to, like, why do you think Benjamin Netanyahu did this? He did this because
No, we agree with you.
No, we agree with you. We're not. We know that.
Bro, that's the
he
reason
used
anyone
you
does a
guys, is what
podcast.
I'm saying. He
I don't
used
know
you
if that was
guys and your lack
I don't
of
know if
knowledge
that's
on this
necessarily-
issue.
I don't know if that was necessarily successful though.
Yeah, that with Kyle, I agree.
I mean,
I
it
think
would be,
everyone's seeing what
Yeah,
Trump.
we're gonna get him now, right? Netanyahu's cooked, right? We got him. We got him. No, dude, we played 5-dimensional chess with Netanyahu. Wait, what's going on in chat?
did and Hasan after the whole election, the whole story was how podcasts won the election, blah blah blah. That was every story. Like, I even did a bunch of interviews on it too.
Yeah, and these people were blowing smoke up your ass, right? This is the whole thing. Is the media inflated their egos after the election, and they never put together. There's a reason why politicians like to use us, right? Is it because we ask really good questions that are hard hitting and they like the challenge? No, politicians don't want to challenge. They want to win. They want to look good. They want to be humanized. That's what they did for Trump. That's what they did for Netanyahu.
And I think obviously the Israeli team sees that and they're like, oh, we need to do podcasts. But in my opinion, not everyone is a Trump and that good of a speaker that can go on and kind of adapt to any environment. And I think that Netanyahu came on and I think you see the response. And I think that podcasting doesn't work for anyone. We saw what happened with Kamala too. Like, she was a fucking disaster.
Jackfruit is expensive in the U.S. Yeah, I kind of remember. I actually couldn't find it very much when I lived there. This is what $1 of jackfruit looks like here, right?
On pods. So
Okay.
I think just because we
Yeah, they already interviewed Netanyahu. It was basically while Hasan was at his brother's wedding, I think, and he comes back, and Steiny's a friend of his, right? So he's kind of like on the hook for this a little bit in that, he's humanized Steiny, right? And now, he's got to go and give them the bad news. Everybody's glazing them up. Everybody's saying how influential they are, how great they are. And he's got to explain to them, there's a reason. There's a reason that they were kissing your ass, right? There's a reason that Netanyahu kissed your ass, right? It's not that you are secretly actually a really good interviewer and he just appreciates your skill. It's so he could use you. It's so he could get his message out without any sort of oppositional questioning, any sort of pushback whatsoever. He chose you because he knew you were incapable of offering any. That's what he's trying to get across to his friend Steiny here.
form someone, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're trying to help.
They could have done that for Kamala Harris. I'm not sure. I don't actually know. Chat, it's an open question to me. Like, you put Kamala Harris on a all-male podcast like Full Send, does that actually... I mean, the same thing's true that they're going to be less capable of asking her tough questions than just a random reporter or something like that. Less inclined to ask her those questions. But I don't know if she benefits from the bump in the same way as Trump does, right? I'm not sure if the podcast magic works for a femoid. A fellow femoid.
them, or I think viewers are a lot smarter than they think they are.
Okay, Benjamin Netanyahu is a
Chat, did you ever think of that? Maybe we're all smarter than we think we are. Look, I don't think I can do theoretical physics, but maybe I should just start popping off with opinions about theoretical physics nonetheless, right? I don't understand, the difference between like a quark and a muon, but like maybe I'd be really good at it if I just started having opinions about theoretical maybe I would solve the theory of everything. I don't know, child. You're smarter than you think you are. That's the message, right? This is toxic positivity. This is toxic positivity. Yeah, he went on also went on right-leaning podcasts. Yeah, he had. I mean, it ends up being the perfect platform for people like Trump, right? That they want to get their message out. They want more people to see them as just dudes vibing, and they don't want to have anything that's going to be an issue or a scandal or a question. I mean, there's a ton of questions. Trump, like more than any other politician, there's a ton of questions that are just off limits, right? Right now, it's the Epstein thing. You ask Trump as a reporter about Epstein, he will bite your head off right now.
A multiple decade politician and has been the leader of Israel in perpetuity. He is a lot better at propaganda than you think he is. Okay. First of all, let's just get that out of the way. The idea that you think that he is not capable of like weaving through a couple softballs that you thought were hard-hitting questions.
Wait, like Terrence Howard, is he the guy that did the like 1 times, what was his whole thing? 1 × 1 = 2 or something?
That he has probably addressed 1,000,000 times over is silly. Let me make no mistake.
Oh no, yeah, I agree with you on that.
So my question to you is, why do you think he wanted to come on the Nelk Boys podcast?
There we go. That's the question.
Of course he wanted to come on to try to win over the young audience. We're not disagreeing on that.
Okay.
I'm saying I don't necessarily know if that's successful. And I think just because you come on the Full Send podcast and sit beside Nelk Boys and take some...
What they don't understand is it's not only a success for him if he wins over more than half the audience, right? And yeah, there was negative comments, right? So I think that's what they're trying to say. They're trying to say by virtue of the fact that there was a lot of negativity expressed towards Netanyahu in their comment section and in their chat, that yo Hasan, I don't think that Netanyahu came off as good as he thought he would, right? He's an unpopular guy, and as much as these guys say that their audience is smarter than they give themselves credit for, maybe not, but there definitely maybe are some people in the audience that are smarter than the Nelks, right? That do know that that they don't like Bibi Netanyahu, that do know that he is enacting a genocide in our time, right? There are people on there that are going to be unmoved. There's nothing that he could do. There's nothing they could say. They already hate Netanyahu for pre-existing reasons. But Netanyahu only needs to he only needs to nibble around the edges. He only needs to nibble around the margins in order to just get a few more in that huge audience, right? Get, a small percentage of people that are like, I've heard bad things about Bibi Netanyahu, something about a genocide and stuff like that. Was he starving Palestinians? Oh no, he said it was Hamas. It was actually Hamas. Oh geez, I thought this was a bad guy. But yeah, it was Hamas actually, right? That's the confusion. Oh, I didn't know. I learned something. See, I learned something, right? He's only got to get like 1% thinking along those lines to have that be a success, right? He's not trying to, win over your audience. He's trying to win over the portion of your audience that's up for grabs, the portion of your audience that is as ignorant about the situation as you are. That's all he's got to do. That's all he has to do. He's the 1 × 1. Yeah, I forgot about him. Oh, chat, I forgot. Yeah, there is some Professor Dave stuff that I wanted to go over with you. He's got a new video about the woke mind virus made you donate. Oh, I'm sorry, Jolly D Joestar. That's it's always taking money out of your pocket, right? What did they say? Go woke, go broke. I think that's how it works. You give your money to a streamer and you go broke. That's how it happens. Oh well.
softball questions if you say that. It
Thank you for the super chat.
doesn't necessarily equate to a positive outcome for the guest. I don't think platforming people.
Like the
don't
question
think that's
is
always
this,
a
right?
positive
The question is the same. Like Adolf Hitler comes on the podcast.
I mean, you could just go read the comments. Like
Adolf Hitler comes on the podcast. You guys
doesn't
are having
look
a
like a
conversation.
Oh no, yeah, it's Sabine Hassenfelder, right? That's who Professor Dave is going after now. Because believe it or not, Sabine is like sweeping for Eric Weinstein now, who is like Professor Dave's like bête noire, right? This is a charlatan, pretending to be a physicist that people seem to think is also, yeah. I just like it connected to me because I think Professor Dave has talked about Terrence Howard as well. Also has a whole alternative view of chemistry and physics involving octaves and colors. Look, the octaves things, I know what he's talking about, right? People will, I've heard this thing before. Was that actually Terrence Howard that came up with that though? I've heard when I was in chemistry, people would talk about, like, I like to think about the periodic table as octaves, and it kind of makes sense. Part of the periodic table, until you get to, I don't know, a certain point in there. I get the yeah. But yeah, Terrence Howard, his whole thing is he's an autodidact and he thinks he's like God's gift to intellect or something.
With him, and he starts, and you're like, why are you sending Jews to the concentration camps?
I think we should speak. I think we should speak by something.
No. The reason why we're using this analog is because I think that
I don't
there's
think that's a fair comparison.
the reason why. Well, I don't think it's an unfair comparison at all. I think it's a perfectly
I
apt
think it is.
comparison.
He's dead. It's not realistic.
But we can talk about, okay, because that's an analogy. So I'm using that. I'm using that as an analogy because Adolf Hitler is a figure that you and I both agree is a truly evil, monstrous figure.
Why don't you just name one person alive for the analogy?
But I'm using this as an analogy.
He got lost somewhere between Homath and Star Trek. Oh God, Homath. Yeah, Homath does a new video too.
Because you already have established that Adolf Hitler is like doing something akin to what Benjamin Netanyahu is doing. That's why I'm using this as an analogy. There's no modern contemporary that I can use at this moment that you would have that would have a similar impact for you. That's why I'm using it as an analog.
You're talking about completely hypotheticals.
Yeah, of course, that's what an analogy is. I'm comparing. As long as the crimes are comparable, which is genocide on both ends, as long as the crimes are comparable, then and you understand that the crimes are comparable. If you think that there's something wrong with the analogy, you can tackle why I'm using it as an analogy, not just saying, oh, you can't use an analogy.
Hold on, Hasan, one second.
Spice it up.
No, hold on. I told Hasan one thing. Hasan, you want absolutely nobody in here, even if they're allowed on Twitch? Real quick before I cut you off.
No, I can't. I can't have someone who is not allowed on Twitch to be on the call. Then I'll get banned.
What about Adam Friedland?
So chat, at this moment, when Hasan's having this conversation with the Nelk Boys, let me see if I can bring this up for you. There was somebody else trying to get on the stream. Somebody we know from way back. Somebody who should not be still relevant, but somehow is. Let me see if I can pull. Oh, there he is. Oh my God. Oh wow. Of all the, anyway, I just noticed the video that he's got up as his autoplay video. Yeah, I think it's this one. Here, let me show you. What was.
Hasan wants to come back in, so yeah, I feel like we got cut short. He wants to come back in.
So I don't know for sure if this is what happened, because obviously, yeah, they're gonna bring on Adam Friedland now, but this was happening at the same time on Destiny stream.
What do you think about Hasan?
Yeah, so I'm waiting.
Destiny with Hasan. Hasan's such a puss, though.
True.
I'm so down to pull up to Moscow and interview Putin too. Yeah, we'll do everybody.
This is what sets off podcasts. You could put a small microphone here, but no, you have to see this thing, right?
Kill me. The Nelk Boys, political leaders of our time. Hasan is live debating them. Oh.
Chat, how pissed would Destiny be if I started putting out videos again and I just copied his editing style like to a T with the diagonal line and everything? How pissed would Destiny be? This guy got pissed when Vosh's sysadmin stole his I think it was open source code, right? He's got a website that he uses for his chat so that people can sub to him on his website instead of on YouTube or Kick or wherever. And Vosh thought it was such a good idea, he sent his sysadmin over to gank the code. And actually the person that implemented the code for Destiny for his website ended up helping her out with the implementation and the updating of the code for VGG. But yeah, he got mad about that. It's like, if you didn't want people using your code, maybe you don't make it open source.
Oh, well, in that case.
Yeah, he'd be pissed.
All right, so I haven't...
No, he wouldn't. Let's be real, chat. He wouldn't notice. The last time Destiny noticed me, I think, was when I made fun of him on Twitter.
I haven't seen what you guys did, but
Wait, you can hear us, right? Where are you at right now?
And look, I'm going to say that's a good thing. I'm going to say Destiny not noticing me is a good thing.
Where am I at right now?
Yeah.
I'm in LA.
LA?
I'm in my house.
Steiny said you were doing a little bachelor party today.
Yeah, no, I just got back from Vegas yesterday. I was in Vegas.
Nice.
All right, so you guys interviewed the Adolf Hitler incarnate, Benjamin Netanyahu, and
Adolf
now
Hitler
everybody's
incarnate.
yelling at you guys. I assume, right? Is that what's going on?
Yes, we're getting definitely some yells.
Let's see if he's timestamped. Oh, of course he didn't timestamp this. What does he do? I'm curious, right? He's been look, they kind of quarantine themselves, right? When Vosh had his scandal where, he released his loli folder, and when Destiny had his scandal where he had, credible accusations of unconsensual release of video images and audio images that were NSFW with his sex partners, when those got released out, right? These people kind of sequester themselves, right? They kind of go into quarantine for a little while. But Destiny's been coming out lately. He tried to debate the Vanguard. He tried to bring them into, I think they were talking about him on stream, and he tried to get them to debate him. So he's definitely more active than we've seen him in a little while. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else in here. Wait, what else is going on? Sneeko. They bring on Sneeko. Oh, I think he's just fast forwarding or something. Oh, Myron Gaines. Look at that. You got Myron Gaines on there from the Fresh and Fit podcast. Oh, there he is. Okay. So yeah, this video is called Nelk Boys Bring Everyone on Their Show. And I don't know, is he jealous? It seems like he was trying to get them to bring him on. I don't know if he ever actually goes on. Yeah, he watches the Hasan segment. He watches the Fresh and Fit segment. He watches the Sneeko segment. What else do we have? More Hasan. He probably found some clips or something that he can embarrass Hasan with, because that is what this man lives for. That is what animates Destiny these days. Is that Hutch? Is that no way, chat? They didn't bring Hutch on, did they? I can't tell. I can't tell my new male soy bugmen apart, whether it's Hutch or Alec Gunter or whoever, right? They all just kind of. Okay, yeah, there's the part with Adam Friedland. It looks like the part that he enjoyed the most, we saw that from the sizzle reel earlier, the clip that he plays before the video, where he's where the Nelk Boys were like, yeah, we couldn't get Hasan on with Destiny. Yeah, Hasan's such a pussy. And look, chat, I guess I'm a pussy too. Because the last time I had a chance to argue with Destiny, I turned his ass down. I decided it was not worth it, right? And I've seen several of my friends since then take the bait, go on a stream, and just get all kinds of shit for it's just not fucking worth it, right? The more you engage with Destiny, in arguing with them, the more you get targeted. The more you become a villain to his community, and it's just not fucking worth it. So anyway. That was Destiny. It doesn't look like I don't think he came on. I would assume that he knows these guys. He knows most people in podcasting, but it doesn't look like he came on. Anyway, back to Hasan.
Oh, Adam Friedland's fine. Yeah. What? Yeah,
Okay,
of course.
Let's spice it up for part 2.
Okay, we'll bring Adam in now.
That's not
Oh, wait,
spicing it up.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Adam's not gonna spice it up. Adam is a comedian. He's funny.
Adam is also a good friend of mine.
That's what I mean by spice.
Hasan, go
Oh,
ahead.
I'm sorry. That was a bald picture of Hasan. Does he use that thing?
You're saying.
Okay. So, I mean, he's not gonna spice it up, but he will make he will turn the
make it
conversation
funny,
into
yeah.
a silly direction. But what I was asking you guys is the reason why I said Adolf Hitler is because it's a comparable crime, right? We were using that as an analogy. I was using that as an analogy because like we both understand that he did a horrible crime, the Holocaust, and that it is comparable to what Benjamin Netanyahu is doing. Wait, did I lose you guys? What the fuck? Hello? Oh God. I think
Beavaw11 says Destiny needs to keep his hands above the table when watching Netanyahu. True.
they opened up another chat.
Oh no, I remember this. Yeah. This is something. This picture is something that he uses. Did he actually shave his head? Or I don't remember this. It's a Photoshop, right?
Jesus Christ. Okay. Hello?
I've never had, bro, what's good?
One second.
There.
Who
Turn on your camera. What up, Adam?
Me?
Adam's
No,
camera's
Adam,
on.
you're
I
fine.
think it's just us
My
three.
camera's on.
I can hear you.
Dude, I've been editing.
We're
for, like,
fixing it.
3
We have our
days.
guy. We have our guy doing this shit remote.
Okay.
Aaron, is that you?
Adam, what's going on, bro?
Who's in the pink square right now?
It's the Nelk Boys.
Me?
It's
What the-
Steiny and the other Nelk.
It's great to
You know what?
Say his name. Hasan, say his name. Do not be disrespectful up in here.
Aaron, what's goody, bro? Did you watch the episode?
I did. It was amazing.
Hasan, you can't
Thank
say
you
my
again
name.
for having us on.
What's
or having
up?
me
What
on. I
is
appreciate it.
Kyle,
That was
right?
funny.
You know my name, bro.
It's Kyle.
Kyle Forgard.
Kyle Foreskin. Yeah, that's that Nelk brother. Kyle Foreskin Nelk, I believe, is who that is. No, chat. They're like the Baki family, aren't they? The Nelk brothers. Do they have like an evil dad and even eviler grandfather? That like, I don't know, chat. Like, Kyle is weird.
Yeah.
Is Steve there?
No, it's just me and Kyle.
What are you guys doing? Hitting happies, doing zaps. Dude, I
No
watched
zap.
so much of your guys' stuff for like 2 weeks.
No,
What's
no
going on?
zap
Why do you want
tonight.
me-
I think what Adam's talking about when he says, "Did you see the episode?" Steiny came on the Adam Friedland show recently, so he was asking Kyle if he saw, like, if he'd watched Steiny on the Adam Friedland show.
What's going on?
Oh, by the way, Aaron,
Hold
you
up.
bitch
Our
ass-
guy's just fixing this shit right now.
No, I want to tell Aaron something. My guest this week is G Herbo, and you were talking shit to me that rappers would never
Wait, the grandfather wasn't evil; it was just his father.
accept me, and he's by far.
I need to finish Baki Hanma.
He's
Wait, is that what's the most recent one called? Is it Baki Hanma? Is that the one? I feel like I saw the Biscuit Oliver arc.
Was so peaceful up here.
I got
But now there are freaking communist invading radicals.
communist invading radicals. Who knew? Never heard of the Nelk Boys before, to be honest. Yeah, I mean it's like a very
Was so peaceful up here, but now there are freaking communist invading radicals.
they're definitely on their corner of the internet. Let's just put it that way, right? It's not
I love G Herbo. It's also G Herbo. The H
What
is
is
silent, bro.
What?
The H is silent. It's G Herbo. But yes, I love him.
Yeah, we're very good. We text and stuff.
Can you guys see us?
What
No.
what is going on right now?
Adam, how do you know Hasan? That's a real question.
Look, I'm getting from some chatters that the woke mind virus is causing them to donate. What I'm wondering though is the woke mind virus going to make anybody interact with the thread over on Blue Sky? Because we do have a Blue Sky thread. I'm trying this out. I'm seeing if we can blast off via Blue Sky. Are the butterfly wings powerful enough? Speaking of butterfly wings, shit, chat. There's so many things I'm not paying attention to. Did we lose the butterfly goal again? We're at 4 out of 10. We got 28 minutes left, right? 28 minutes for 6 super chats of the teal variety or greater will cause a butterfly to land in my hair. So if you got any interest in that, Your time is running out. Time is also running out on the stream. We're at 40% now. That is 4/10 of the way to some bonus content. The bonus content that's winning is Willie Mack versus Bad Empanada. If you got interested in seeing that, that's another great reason to donate as well.
How are you and Hasan allies?
Hasan from the Bund, from the workers, the People's Workers Party.
Damn, we're actually getting gifted. We're actually getting subs during this. Shout out Jenny, full send community.
Okay, so Adam.
Why can't I see you guys? And why am I on this
Give
right
us,
now?
give us.
We're gonna get in there in a sec. But Adam, we have Hasan's here.
They
Kyle here.
interviewed.
We've had 5 different people in here, and now Hasan. Oh, there you go.
Oh, boom!
Whoa,
It worked.
Kyle Forgard.
What up, Adam? Good to meet you, bro.
This guy, Aaron.
Adam's a great guy. Adam's a good guy.
Adam seems like good vibes.
He's a troll, but he's a good dude. I fuck
What
with
is
him.
going on right now? You guys please explain to me.
Hasan will explain.
Yeah, wait, Hasan, why don't you go ahead and debrief Adam on what's going on as you changed your fit before you lagged out?
Yeah. What happened is these guys, the brilliant minds of the Nelk Boys podcast, went and interviewed war criminal Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and now they're getting they did.
What, guys? In the middle of a war?
It was a genocide.
Aaron,
Adam, it's a war leader. We have to do it.
you know, 60,000 people, lowest estimates, are dead right now.
We understand. We have empathy with everyone who's been affected by the war in general, but we are going to have a pro-Palestinian on next week. That's what we do here. We do not.
He's charged with as a war criminal by the ICC. It's a you could have Slobodan Milosevic on.
We would have a lot of people on.
Would have anyone on?
They said they would have. They said they would have Adolf Hitler on.
No,
I mean,
we haven't said that. Hasan.
Okay, they said they would have Osama bin Laden on, but not Adolf Hitler.
Okay.
We said it
too long ago.
I'm catching up right now. And did you press him? Did you you dunked on him or something?
We asked him what was his response to starving children in Gaza. Could he have stopped October 7th? Is he looking to have regime change in Iran? And we told him that Americans don't want to see another regime change war in the Middle East.
We told him
They asked him if he was starving children in Gaza, and he said no. It was Hamas starving children in Gaza. Adam.
Wait. Answer this.
I mean, yeah, Adam seems to unironically disappointed. And look, I get the chat. This is not unexpected behavior of the Nelk Boys for chat. For those of you who know who the Nelk Boys are, right? This is just but it's kind of like, I don't know, if you leave, if you go out and you leave your dog home, and the dog, I don't know, I'm trying to think of the metaphor. What is the proper metaphor? Like, what does a dog do while you're out that you're just not expecting, right? That just fucking with something that it doesn't. Oh my God, I can't do it, Chad. I can't turn this into a dog metaphor as much as I'd like to, but it's like the dog has gotten into radioactive waste, right? The dog dug up a cask of nuclear waste from the 1960s and is now glowing in the dark, right? And the dog's like, what this is delicious, I found a delicious snack here, and you're like, you're radioactive, Fido. And the dog commits a genocide. Yeah, there we go.
Did they glaze?
I don't know. I haven't seen the excerpts yet.
I haven't seen it either. I was good at editing.
Or no, your dog, you get somebody comes in to rob your house, and your dog is super friendly, right, to this person. And they're all licking their hands and stuff. And the robber's still there because the dog is the dog has forced the robber to play fetch. I don't know.
The G Herbo interview, and it's one of my finest moments, and now you've ruined my day. What are you guys doing? Wait, guys, can I get Aaron? I was hinting at this.
What we do. That's just what we do.
No. Listen.
Leo Daggy, who are the Spice Girls? What is that a reference to? Is that a podcast?
Listen, that's just what we do. So I think what we did is we had someone on right now. He watched.
Yeah, Leo, I'm not sure I'm getting your boomer references.
Aaron, let me finish.
4 podcasts.
Adam.
I think this is actually going to be a great thing. If everyone thinks we have such a big platform, would you guys agree or no? Hasan?
Yeah, you guys have a decently sized platform.
People wouldn't be pissed, right? If we didn't have a big platform. So if we have
No, I think people would still, your fans would, depending on how they feel about it, they probably would be.
Right. So right now we just had Netanyahu on. A bunch of people watched it. I think a lot of people saw through what he was saying. Now already on the same day, we've had 3 people on with complete opposite viewpoints. Hasan, Sneeko, Myron, Nick Fuentes. So
Okay.
Oh wait, yeah, Dune reference. Are they the chicks, the warrior chicks that speak with the voice? Is that the Spice Girls? Is that who? I'm gonna tell my kids that was the Spice Girls.
Don't loop me in with those guys.
Let me finish.
Don't put me in the same category as these guys.
Let me finish. So already we've had.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point I was trying to get with the extended metaphor there, where I overextended myself. Biva. Some things are not bloody content, right? And these guys are just treating like it's another. It's content. A world leader. Let's talk to the world leader. Oh, some people say he's starving children in Gaza, but he says it was Hamas. I tried to send them food. I really care about those kids, but Hamas, they stole the food. What can you do? Oh well, I guess we better kill Hamas, right? There we go. That's how easy these guys are for Netanyahu to manipulate.
People with opposite viewpoints on the very same day.
Zendaya is the Spice Girls, all of them at the same time. Complete opposite opinions. They all shit on these guys for interviewing BB.
And then the next episode of the Full Sun podcast, we're gonna have someone very, very reputable with the complete opposite viewpoint of Netanyahu. So I personally think, and listen, there's a lot. You guys gotta understand though, Hasan. There's a lot of people. I know there's a lot of people like Hasan though that are educated on this issue, and there's a lot of people like myself who are really not. And I know there's a lot of people watching right now that are the same way as me, that just read and don't know what to believe. And if you read stuff and you really don't know what to believe, like I know Hasan, that might be tougher.
The Spice Girls is a pop group from the 90s, like what, like a idol, like idols?
For you to understand because you're so educated on the topic, but there is a lot of people that don't know what to believe.
I know, but
so
that's
I
why
think what we're doing is
you're giving more reason as to why it's bad that you guys interviewed him.
No,
though.
we're not. Because
no, that's the problem. Because
Netanyahu, they're already listening to you, Hasan. A lot of people in our audience have honestly never heard of you, and I'm sure likewise they've never heard of us, so they dislike us. So we're putting you onto our audience now, and they're hearing your point of view. And then next week on the podcast, they're going to hear someone really reputable with the complete opposite view of Netanyahu. So I personally think right now,
I'm sorry, but the analog to Netanyahu on the other side just doesn't exist. There's nobody doing a fucking, genocide to Israelis, right? Israelis are fine. They've got the Iron Dome. Thank you, AOC for making sure that that's not in question. Little unforced error there from. Anyway, yeah, they're just the analog to Netanyahu does not exist. There is no one. Like you couldn't fucking really like resurrect Yasser Arafat and say that that's like the, analog to Netanyahu.
Now we're gonna bite the bullet, and I think we're gonna take a lot of flack. But I think within a week or 2 weeks' time, we're actually gonna be educating our entire audience and probably the entire internet on everyone's point of view.
You're doing crisis PR right now, and I can tell this is really stressful because everyone's mad at you. But please,
it's not, bro.
Just do pranks. But people like to see you guys partying. Why you guys keep?
We'll still party, bro.
This is what I say to Ethan Klein: stop doing your war room bullshit and get back to the goofs and the gaffs. Right? We want to see the goofs. We want to see the gaffs. We want to see you do Vape Nation. We want to see you put 1,049 batteries into your giant mega vape, right? That's what we want to see from you, Ethan. Nothing else. Stick with what you're good at. How can you not have seen 2 years of dead and starving children? Unfortunately, what you're seeing here is the narrow silo that the algorithm puts you into. Whereas for us, like, you know, we know what's happening in Gaza. We know when Bibi Netanyahu says, "Oh, I tried to send them food, but Hamas intercepted it." Oh, you know, what you're going to do about it, all right? We know that that's bullshit, right? These guys don't know that. Their algorithm is sending them, like, you know, what, I don't even know, chat, manosphere shit. I don't even know, but it's not sending them the material reality on the ground in Gaza, right? It's not sending them, you know, they've indicated, like, I don't know, the algorithm, their algorithm knows they don't want to see that shit. They wouldn't know what to make of it. And it just makes them sad unnecessarily. And since they don't care, you know, why bother? I mean, it's wild. It's wild though, how, like, and you know, it's always a wake up call, like when there's an election, right? And you're like, well, I watched the campaign. It's very clear to me that Trump is fucking unhinged. He thinks that people are eating the cats, eating the dogs, and you know, he's a fucking madman. And then, you know, on the other side of the algorithm, they haven't seen shit. That was the debate, by the way, that, like, you know, the debate. There was a debate. I didn't know they debated. Yeah, because you didn't fucking get into your algorithm, because your algorithm shows that you only want to watch Fox News segments, right? Fox News is not going to show you that Trump, when asked about, you're gonna bring out those Epstein files. When Trump was asked before the election, his answer was, yeah, the Epstein files. Well, that's what Fox News showed you on Fox News, right? That's the end of the clip, right? Yeah, I'll bring out the Epstein files. Okay, good. We want those. That's great. But the real interview was like, yeah, I'll bring out the Epstein files, but maybe less so. Maybe less so, because, you know, there's a lot of fake news in that world. And we wouldn't want anyone innocent who might be in the files to be implicated. Trump all but told you, if you had watched that whole segment, which was available online, but Fox didn't broadcast, right? Trump pretty much told you that he's in the Epstein files, right? You didn't have to wait a fucking year to find out about that. But yeah, for people that were just watching it on Fox News Live, they never saw that shit, right? So there's whole sections of people that are just like unaware of the most basic shit. And these guys are, I guess, the example of that for Israel-Palestine.
Fucking in the middle, you know, people can't leave Gaza.
Adam, we were in Central Pay for.
Here, let me let Adam cook, because he is going to cook here. Adam isn't known as like I guess did Cometown technically start off as a political podcast? I feel like it did, but quickly it became well, basically stories about doing gay stuff with your dad. I think is basically the theme of Cometown. It was just vivid descriptions of gay sex from three straight men is what Cometown ultimately. So people don't take him seriously, you know, because he's you know, a comedian and he's on a comedy podcast. But in actuality, some people that underestimate this man, Destiny being the one that comes to mind, right, did so at their peril, right? Because Adam is actually a little bit smarter than he lets on to.
You're doing crisis PR right now, and I can tell this is really stressful because everyone's mad at you. But please,
it's not,
you guys
bro.
Just do pranks. People like to see you guys partying. Why you guys keep
we'll still party, bro?
In the middle, you know, people can't leave Gaza.
Adam, we were in Central Pay for a few days after this.
Half the people that live there are children.
We were in
75% of the people that have died are children. Why are you wading into that? People like you guys because they like to party. You hit zaps. You do happy dads. You guys are chill. I like to see Steve will do a chug. Just do it. Why are you touching that? Not everything is.
I agree. You know what? Adam's right. We don't have to.
It is a brutal blood. It is blood. It is violence.
That's a problem.
Why are you guys?
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. We're gonna.
And if you're not qualified to touch it.
We're gonna drink. We're gonna hit zaps, and then we're also gonna interview world leaders.
But it's not just like, dude, you're not like interviewing the prime minister of Albania. Okay, you're like, this is a guy. This is if you did that, no one would. You wouldn't have to. You wouldn't be doing this video or this video call anyway. If you were doing that, nobody would give a shit.
We plan to do the stream. You can check my story. We plan to do this before we.
And Hasan, you're coming in here all hot, but it's like, bro, we told you.
I don't think he's coming in all that hot. I'll be honest, right? I feel like he was coming in hotter for Asmongold than for this. Wait, I didn't hear what Kyle said right there. I kind of missed that. It might not be hearable because they were sort of talking over each other.
If you were doing that, nobody would give a shit.
We plan to do the stream. You can check my story. We plan to do this before we.
We plan to do the stream. You can check my story.
Hasan, you're coming in here all hot, but it's like, bro, we told you exactly what was going to happen. I texted you ahead of time.
I know, but
we're going to have someone who's pro-Palestinian on the other side.
Okay, but that doesn't change the dynamic. I found out about it. I found out about the interview after you had already conducted it.
The thing is, there's nothing that anybody that they bring on from the pro-Palestinian side is going to be able to do to, I don't know, undo the damage that you've done to the naive, the extremely naive people in your chat that just saw Netanyahu, who they've heard is a bad guy. They've heard he's doing a genocide. They've heard he's killing kids. They've heard he's starving people, and he just came there and chilled. All right. That damage is not going to be undone. Right. With whatever, with a fucking Norm Finkelstein, right? You could bring on Norm. It's not going to undo the damage, right? Netanyahu came on there for a reason, and he recognized that you weren't going to be able to give him the kind of questions that would make this, let me just use your language, that would make this interaction anything less than a W. It's going to be W Netanyahu, like all the way, and he knew he had that in the bag, and that it doesn't matter who you bring on afterwards. Nothing is going to correct that. Nothing is going to change that, right? Nothing is going to, a lot of their audience actually more aware of world events than they are because they got so much clapback in the comments, right? But for that, whatever percentage of the audience doesn't have their mind made up, or they've like heard some stuff and they're not sure, right? Like those people have already, decided that no, Netanyahu seems like a chill guy. So somebody telling you that this is a monster who is, basically killed like 200,000 people to get himself out of political trouble, right? He would have been taken out of office. He's facing, court trials. Netanyahu is corrupt as fuck, and at various times has been extremely unpopular, right? The only thing that kept Netanyahu as prime minister of Israel was this fucking, that everybody in Israel apparently loves to get behind the murder of Palestinians. Okay. So, I mean, this is absurd, and this is sad. And did the butterfly goal go away? Did it fly away once again? No, 10 minutes. You've got 10 minutes left to possibly put a butterfly. Is it counting everybody's? I feel like it hasn't counted all the super chats.
You haven't even watched the episode. You're trying.
I know, but if you were to have asked me ahead of time, I would have told you not to do it.
Even if he watches it, he'll still think.
Listen,
no, I know, but I'm just trying to impress him.
I watched so much Nelk. I love you, boys. Listen, boys. This is let's zoom out. This is a problem with today, with our society. Like even the fact that you're talking to Sneeko and Myron from Fresh and Fit, like that's not like these are content creators. These aren't historians. Yes. These are people that like. These are the fact that like the experts on its politics and its war.
Heidi Sausage says BB's rep is done.
It was so peaceful up here, but now there are freaking communist invading radicals.
BB's reputation is done with the average global citizen. He's being protected by the U.S. Yeah. And even in the U.S., Netanyahu and Israel are extremely unpopular. Their reputation has gone down severely, even in the U.S. But to keep this shit viable, to continue the transfer of arms from the U.S. To Israel, the arms that are killing children, it only takes. He's only got to nibble around the edges. He only needs to get a few percentage here and there. This is what Trump did. This was Trump's whole podcast strategy, right? The election was so close, 1.5% separated Trump and Kamala, right? That he only needed a little bit. He only needed to grab a few percentage, right? From going on these podcasts, and he knew that he could do it, and that there was no risk to him.
And it's violence. There are people that study this, right? It's just not everything's content, guys.
But that's
Just
what we're gonna have on the next episode,
You
bro.
had Coke. Jesse would have never allowed this were he here. Jesse, he
Don't
told
hit
me
me
he
with
watched
that.
this episode.
I don't know enough about the Nelk history.
I
I don't know about the Nelk history to know what Adam is saying, but it seems to be impactful.
That's one thing about Adam is he will know everything.
That's good.
That's not-
That was good.
Do you think that they're like they just didn't realize? You think that you think it's banality of evil? Guys, there's a book by this lady Hannah Arendt that I want you guys to read, The Banality of Evil. And I want you guys to get back to me on it. Because it's sometimes like it's
First, you're gonna have to tell them what banality means, and that it's not. They're gonna think you're like, bro, I don't want to read a book about anal sex. What the fuck? What the fuck, bro? Do you think I'm gay? Do you think I'm the anality of like you gotta explain. You gotta explain what banality. These guys don't know what banality means. All right, but they do kind of exemplify in some ways the banality of evil.
it's sometimes I'm doing a podcast. It's just a podcast, but you don't realize that there's like a gravity there. There are powerful people wanting access to your platform that have an agenda. It's just like when I was asking about like Zuckerberg, right? He like his stock plummets when he's like doing the censorship around COVID, and then everyone's like, "You're anti-free speech Democrat," and then he puts a chain, he gets muscles, and then his stock goes back up. But like it's this everyone that says you're an anti-free speech Democrat is like, "No, you're sick because you do bow and arrow." But he's like he's going on podcasts now because it's his stock price. It's an advantage for them, and
they're
it's like,
using you
guys.
guys. They're using you guys to look good.
Hassan, bro. Why does anybody, Hassan? Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Hassan, anyone goes on a podcast to promote whatever they're doing.
Yeah, but they're not. But Benjamin Netanyahu's not promoting a book, dog. He's promoting a genocide.
Bro,
that's the point.
We have O.J. Simpson on. We have Entertain on. It's the same shit.
Okay,
This one
none
might
of
be a
those
little bit
things.
more.
Yeah, I mean, like if O.J. Simpson was still killing people, maybe I don't know. That's like
you do
You're
realize
right.
that,
They
like,
don't match. No,
this
you're-
is
I
the
agree with
one
you. They don't match
instance. This is the one instance where it's the worst guess you could have, because these
We
guys
agree.
are
We
bad
agree.
people. But what you're talking about is the worst person.
It's the most hated man on the planet.
But Hassan, we agree. But also, if we're going to do it, then who's not going to do it?
I'm gonna hook your ass up. I said BB to that guy Yossi, who's your Mossad handler, and Aaron said, "Who's that?" He didn't know that. He didn't know that it's he's named BB. That's protecting. No, you said who's that, which is good. I mean, like, guys, just it's like unless you know.
Like, we're glad you're curious, but maybe like you wouldn't fly a plane after, I don't know. You wouldn't like try to engineer. You wouldn't try to run. You wouldn't. I'm trying to find a. You wouldn't watch like Thomas the Tank Engine and be like, "Yo, I wanna engineer a train. I wanna drive a train. I feel like totally safe and totally comfortable doing that because I've seen Thomas the Tank Engine." You got like a little bit of knowledge there, little bit of something, and you're like, "Oh yeah, no, I think I can interview the this world leader that people are telling me is a modern day Hitler." Yeah, I feel confident to do that. Simpson was promoting a book. He wasn't in the act of stabbing a person.
Oh, like it's wading into like it's violent.
Eichmann in Jerusalem is a book where she talks about the banality of evil. Yeah, and the idea, I mean, like podcasts perfectly describe this, right? That anybody, like, let's take Hitler for example. I think the classic example, people said that the movie The Downfall might have done too much humanization to Hitler. Now, it's important to understand that, Hitler was at the end of the day just a man, just a human being, and that human beings can be, the cause of horrible actions, right? But they talk about his how he loved his dog Blondie, right? He had a dog named Blondie that apparently he dearly loved, right? That's the kind of thing that you put Hitler in a slice of life anime, and all of a sudden people are relating to him and like, oh yeah, that's not the kind of that's not the way to recognize that he is just a man, or to disabuse yourself of the great man of history, perspective, the paradigm, right? It's the way to kind of gloss over the true like horror of what this man represented by kind of catching him in this out of context moment where maybe you can kind of relate to him, right? This is the problem with bringing Netanyahu on the podcast.
And they're bombs and rubble.
Adam, you're right. You're right. You are right. We
don't have to
definitely
do
realize
content
that.
about it. You don't have to do like we're gonna collab with him. We're gonna collab with BB and Bonnie Blue. Guys, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's just a way. It's a sign of the world nowadays. It is.
Adam, you would have him on in a heartbeat. I'm gonna be honest. Adam, you would have him on in a heartbeat. If you had the opportunity, you'd have him on in a heartbeat. Someone try
BB?
me.
I would have
fuck yeah,
only
you
if
would.
Bonnie Blue was there to defend Palestine.
You would
No,
have
guys,
BB on in a heartbeat. Don't even try and fucking fake the fact.
You know what? Like, I am very I know a lot about this subject. That even maybe is a step, a shade beyond. It's a little bit like it's very painful for me. Aaron, your grandparents were the Holocaust, right? Okay, please.
Yes.
Our parents' generation, right? We're told
I never knew Steiny's name was Aaron. Anyway,
that we have to protect these people, and if we don't protect these people, the Holocaust will happen again. I'm Jewish, by the way, Kyle. I don't know if you could tell. I don't really read as Jewish, but okay. Our parents were told that, right? And they're really scared. They were really scared because they knew Holocaust survivors, right? And it really freaked them out. And they were like, "We got to protect Israel and stuff like
Because
this."
it was
But
so peaceful up here. But now there are freaking communist invading radicals.
Yo, welcome in, communist invading radicals. Glad to have you with us.
Because it was so peaceful up here. But now there are freaking communist invading radicals.
I'm gonna pause it and just roll it back because I feel like Adam is kind of cooking here. Right, so he's trying to get. If you don't know, chat, Adam and Steiny, both Jewish. He's trying to reach out to Steiny on that level, but make the connection that what happened to Jewish people in the Holocaust is happening to Palestinian people now, right? And that you kind of make him understand that never again doesn't mean never again just for us. It means never again for anyone. It means solidarity. And yeah, they start with one group, and then they move on to the next group, and nobody defends the first group because this group is hated, right? Anti-Semitism was fucking wild, so it wasn't controversial for Adolf Hitler to blame the Jews for Germany's loss in World War I, to blame them for the Soviet Union, to blame them for any manners of things, the transformation of German culture as it was becoming more progressive, right? They blame the Jews for, and then that just opens the door for other groups to be targeted as well, right? That's what he's trying to get across anyway. Let me not talk over him here because I think he's actually making a pretty good point.
These people, the Holocaust will happen again. I'm Jewish. Your grandparents were the Holocaust, right? Okay, please.
Yes.
Our parents' generation, right? We're told that we have to protect these people, and if we don't protect these people, the Holocaust will happen again. I'm Jewish, by the way, Kyle. I don't know if you could tell. I don't really read as Jewish, but okay. Our parents were told that, right? And they're really scared. They were really scared because they knew Holocaust survivors, right?
And Narwhal by Nature, thank you for the super chat. Narwhal says, just realized the direct descendant of Shane Dawson's documentaries. I've never seen his documentaries. Were whitewashed problematic, where he whitewashed problematic people for money. Will BB be their Jeffree Star? Yeah, I got to look into that, but I think I kind of.
And it really freaked them out, and they're like, "We got to protect Israel and stuff like this." But it hasn't protected Jewish people. It is.
I agree with you. That's why Adam,
Zone of interest was slice of life. That's a good point, Hanukkah Joy. That's a good point. So Hanukkah Joy in short chat is pointing out that zone of interest was a slice of life of German people during the Holocaust, living very close to the actual mechanisms of death. And so yeah, in that case, but you understand that zone of interest was it was that was the point I think that it was making, though. And yeah, I don't think that's an easy movie to make. Hence the fact that really nothing like it, as far as I know, was made up until that point. Yeah, the point of Zone of Interest, I think, was for us to recognize ourselves within the German people that enabled a Holocaust through their, through their attachment to normality, right? Through the way that, daily life just kind of immerses you in it. And there's not a lot of incentive to pay attention to the overarching, the historical arc, which doesn't get properly appreciated or noticed within the context of while you're living it. Is only like visible to the majority of people after the fact. Yeah. But that's a good point. That's a good point. I hadn't thought of that as an example of where humanization of Germans during World War II who were maybe not inclined to thinking of as just like you and me. But yeah, the point is for you to recognize that you too could be co-opted like that. You too through just your own kind of self-interest and self-occupation could become a tool of that kind of carnage. Really shows the monstrosity of the camp leaders, though. Yeah, juxtaposition was really extreme.
It's been a failure of a project. Think about the way Jewish people were treated prior to the Holocaust. For 1600 years, we were losers. Everywhere we went, they said, go away. Everywhere we went, they were killed. It sounds a lot like the Palestinians. Because they are people that are dispossessed, and everywhere they go, they get killed. And if we can't see ourselves in that, it's a shanda.
Adam, I'm going to tell you something really quick. I don't agree with Netanyahu.
Damn, I wish he'd listen. Because I feel like what Adam said right there was huge. But instead he was just thinking of what he was going to say to Hasan. That's disappointing. Yeah, Adam just threw his pearls before swine, I guess. God damn.
Disagree with a lot of things he's doing. I think he's acting. It doesn't matter. I think in certain aspects he's acting the same way as Hamas is. We've talked to him about this.
No, there's no. See, this is what I mean. You're saying he's acting the same.
No, but Hasan, you're disregarding the point. And Adam, you're not listening.
There's no.
He's not listening. Steiny, really? Adam's the one that's not listening. I feel like there was something else I wanted to say. Let's listen to Adam once again, just as, because like this part is huge.
I agree with you. That's why Adam, you can watch.
It's been a failure of a project. Think about the way
the project of Israel as a means of protecting Jewish people, he means, has been a failure. And yeah, it absolutely has. Like the existence of Israel, far from far from being a bulwark against anti-Semitism, it has been a propagator of anti-Semitism, and for the most part, kind of reflects the same anti-Semitic conflation of the Jewish people with the state of Israel that you will hear from anti-Semites, from people that hate Jewish people. You will hear the same thing that you hear from Netanyahu. There was something here.
Like, it hasn't protected Jewish people. It is.
I agree with you. That's why Adam, you can watch.
It's been a failure of a project. Think about the way Jewish people were treated prior to the Holocaust. For 1600 years, we were losers. Everywhere we went, they said, go away. Everywhere we went, they were killed. It sounds a lot like the Palestinians.
In fact, if you listen to certain pro-Israel content creators, you'll hear rhetoric to that says like, yeah, the Palestinian people, looks like well, obviously Israel doesn't want them, and Egypt doesn't want them, and Jordan doesn't want them, and Syria doesn't want them, and Lebanon, like, oh geez, I wonder, you know, nobody wants these people in their country. Must be a them problem. Must be a them problem. This is the same shit that with the trope of the wandering Jew that anti-Semites in the 30s and 40s would use to justify the laws that went into place. The series of laws that went into place, basically stripping Jewish people of personhood and enabling the Holocaust. It's the same. It's just the same point that's being advanced in both cases, right?
Because they are people who are dispossessed, and everywhere they go, they get killed. And if we can't see ourselves in that, it's a shanda.
Adam, I'm going to tell you something really quick. I don't agree with Netanyahu. I disagree with a lot of things he's doing. I think he's acting. It doesn't matter. I think in certain aspects, he's acting the same way as Hamas is. We've talked to him about this.
No, there's no. See, this is what I mean.
Yeah, that's the problem. And Netanyahu, he's almost as bad as Hamas.
He's acting the same.
No, but Hasan, you're disregarding the point. And Adam, you're not listening.
There's no comparison between Benjamin Netanyahu and Hamas. That's my point. The point is that Hamas.
You tried to compare them earlier.
No,
I agree with you.
Benjamin
They're
Netanyahu
acting
was
the same way
infinitely
sometimes.
worse. That's the point. Israel is the Israeli military, and its conduct is a million times worse than anything Hamas could have ever done. It is hundreds, if not thousands, of October 7s that Benjamin Netanyahu has done with superior firepower over the course of the last 2 years. There's a mass starvation happening. Israel is the much more powerful entity in this process, and it's backed by the most powerful country on the planet, the United States of America.
Yeah,
There's a country
I think bottom line, guys, on the
there's
Folsom
occupied
podcast,
territory.
we're willing to
People
have
don't have
anyone
right
on the
to
planet.
self-determination.
That's just the,
So
that's
that's the
just
only
the
way
way
to think
it
of
is.
it. All you have to think of it is in this way: you have the longest occupation in modern history, right? And you have a group of individuals that don't have a right to self-determination. They don't have a country, right? And it's been this way in Gaza since 1967. Okay, in Israel, it's a country. They're in the United Nations. They can vote in their government. These people don't have those rights. And guess what? Right now, there's a fence around them, and they're trapped there. It's not a one-on-one. You don't even have to.
It's literally
here. But now there are freaking communist invading radicals.
Yo, welcome in, communist invading radicals.
You don't even have to frame it that way. That's just the situation with the Palestinians and the Israelis, right? Who are like living on either side of that fence, and it's just like, guys, like I get what you guys got to be stressed as shit right now, but like it's just like take it.
Yeah, we're good. Trust.
It's not. Have it like get in trouble for anything else.
You're right, Adam. I understand your point of view. Though. We do a lot of comedy. We do a lot of fun stuff. So you're right. We actually definitely didn't need to do this.
People like to see
I totally agree with you.
There is no good purpose. There's no good purpose to interviewing Benjamin Netanyahu unless you're like literally there to laser him or directly arrest him and send him to The Hague, which is not going to happen under any circumstance, especially not inside of the White House. So the only thing that happens here, even if it's a failure overall because of how intensely disliked Benjamin Netanyahu is, the goal on his end was to basically use your platform in the same way that they use CNN. So in a way, you guys turned into CNN.
I don't think that we've already talked about this, but I don't think just because we platform people, they fall for everything the guest says. And this is a perfect example.
I know that, and they clearly aren't, and people are going to be more mad at you guys as a consequence of like interviewing.
Yeah, they're going to be mad at us.
Yeah, my point is that if you're asking me about the morality of it, there were journalists that were implicated and also charged with crimes in the Nuremberg trials for literally participating and doing propaganda for the Nazis, right? So in that regard, if you were to ask, will there ever be a Nuremberg-style trial for Israel? I don't know. Probably not. Okay? That doesn't mean that the crimes are not comparable. And that doesn't mean that your moral culpability in this regard is not close to what those guys did. I'm not saying that you guys are going to be tried in the Nuremberg-style trials, but the moral culpability is still there for not, for conducting an interview such as this one.
I can definitely understand your perspective, Hasan, for sure. I just think that that's just what we're gonna do with the full send pod. And I don't know, maybe we got to get a little better at grilling them, or maybe next time we can, when we have a guest like this, we can hit up people like you, Hasan, and get what you would ask and stuff like that. But
no, Benjamin Netanyahu is never entering the same room as someone like myself. If I were to be in that room, he would not do this podcast with you, or
But wait,
maybe they would
Hasan,
assassinate
let me ask
me.
you something. Hassan, why wouldn't you do someone from both sides?
What do you mean?
I mean, we've already debated this. If you
could do Netanyahu and do somebody else, why wouldn't you do that?
But I don't think that there's both sides in the situation. There is the perpetrators, like that's why I'm saying it's like akin to interviewing Adolf Hitler.
Hamas, and you can do Netanyahu.
There is no both sides in the situation. That's why I'm saying it's like interviewing a concentration camp survivor and then interviewing Hitler. You know what I mean? Is there both sides in the situation? No. Interviewing the leadership of the Jewish partisans in World War II versus interviewing Adolf Hitler or like one of his loyal advocates or whatever is not comparable. There are no both sides in a genocide. That's why it's a genocide. It's such a big crime that it doesn't even justify a genocide in retaliation to said genocide. It's the crime of all crimes.
Guys, I think you're getting in the weeds a little.
Okay, so I gotta answer this question from chat. Kieran Cole says, why does Israel have to be held to a higher moral standard than Hamas? I have so many thoughts about what you said, but I'm gonna try to stick to just one so I don't get one guide. One reason that you should think of is that if you live in the United States, your tax money is going to bombs that are killing children. Your tax money is not going to Hamas. We are not militarily supporting Hamas in the way that we are militarily supporting Israel and continue to support Israel. There was just a bill in Congress. Some people, proposed taking away both offensive and weaponry from Israel and stuff like the Iron Dome that allows Israel to act in the Middle East with impunity, right? And that was voted down like 400 and something to nothing, right? Your government continues to spend your tax money to do a genocide. Hamas, meanwhile, is not capable of doing a genocide. Hamas, meanwhile, is not receiving funds from the United States that it's using to kill people. That's just one reason. And although I'd love to go on, I have a podcast to run.
Bit, right? It's not about.
No, I mean, but no. I'll be honest.
He's like you guys are well known not for politics, right? And it's like unless you're not going to research more.
You guys hate kids, so good for you, says Rachel Goodman. Excuse me? Who do you think you're talking to, Rachel Goodman?
Get ready, look, you're Rocky. Guys, just like politics sucks, right? I got made fun of for liking it when I was a kid. It should go back to being like for losers, right? Everyone's into politics now. It sucks. It's just like you don't have to purport to like that to know about it, and just like leave it to like the Wolf Blitzer. It's just like, it's not.
Leave it to Wolf Blitzer. Okay, yeah, he's saying leave the Netanyahu sweeping to Wolf Blitzer. I don't think he's saying that like Wolf Blitzer's doing a good job as a journalist. What Hasan and Adam are trying to get across to them is that these guys probably don't look kindly on mainstream media like CNN, nor should we. CNN absolutely doing the work of the military industrial complex on so many different levels. And so the point they're trying to get across is you guys are doing CNN shit. The way that CNN lets any fucking former general walk on and say, no, we need to go to war with Iraq. It's really important because they have weapons of mass destruction or whatever. No, we need to do the war on terror. It's really important. No, we need to lock up people in Guantanamo Bay, right? The same kind of shit. They can go on CNN and the Wolf Blitzer like, yes, of course we do. Of course, right? No meaningful opposition, no meaningful pushback, no challenge to the narrative that the generals are trying to push. CNN wants access to the generals. These guys want access to Trump. So when the White House rings them up and says, hey, you did such a good job on your interview with Trump. We'd like for you to have a conversation with Trump's friend, Bibi. Do you think you could pencil him in? That's why they choose these guys, because they know that they're gonna, like, whereas CNN doesn't have the interest, doesn't have the motivation to challenge, a general or an Israeli official or whatever. These guys don't have the capability, don't have the mental capability to do that, but they have been glazed up ad infinitum by the fact that their podcast is so big and so valuable, and that an asshole like Trump, an asshole like Netanyahu knows that they can come on and get like a neutral presentation. And however many people hate their guts and shit on them in chat, they're gonna come off as like, well, no, to some people that don't know any better, as like, well, he seemed like a chill guy. I mean, people say he did a genocide, but no, he was chill. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy to do a genocide. He said that it was actually Hamas that was keeping those kids from getting that food, right? So problem solved. I guess Bibi's all right. That's what he's looking for. That's what Trump was looking for. A few extra points amongst low propensity voters in an election that comes down to 1.5% of the population, or 1.5% of the voters, right? That was the difference between Kamala and Trump. Yeah, it can be very valuable. It can be very valuable, even if your conversion rate is really low, because most of these viewers don't go and vote. If a few of them do, that can be huge.
Everything.
So they're underestimating their power, and they're overestimating their understanding of the world around them and of the people that are wanting to come on their podcast and why. Like the example I gave before was, if I go out to a club and the hottest fucking guy in the world, hits on me, and he's got like a lanyard on that says like, Bangkok Hospital or something like that. He's a doctor. This hot fucking doctor just hit on me. He wants me to come with him and his friends to an after party that they're doing, right? And I could either think, well, I must be a lot hotter than I realized, right? I must be just so damn attractive that this fucking smoking hot doctor, it just couldn't resist me. Or I could actually be logical and be like, look, I'm a 6 on my best day. All right. This guy's not, this guy's not noticing me for my looks. If I go to that party with him and his friends, I'm going to come back with one less kidney. All right. Assuming I come back at all, right? You got to recognize when somebody's got an agenda. You got to recognize when somebody's being nice to you but they got bad designs, right? They want to use you. All right. And that's what the Nelk Boys aren't fucking getting, is that they are, is in Hasan's words, they are Bibi's fleshlight here. They are serving his purposes, and it's a sad thing.
Whatever fucking happens. Whatever fucking happens. Let's hear.
Me too.
Godly29 Gaming says, Lamafau, you wish. Yeah, I know. You're right. I'm probably a 10.
Oh, he did?
No.
I'm sorry. Humble brag.
He's still kicking. How dare you guys come for the wolf?
Wolf Bits is still buzzing around?
He's still at CNN, yes. But Wolf Blitzer also, ironically, literally worked for AIPAC before he did CNN.
For someone that understands what's happening in the world, and you guys don't have to, because people love you for prank and lifestyle content.
Yeah, see, that's where I think I'm gonna be honest. That's where you're a little stop.
What?
But yeah, no, go ahead. You're good.
I gotta go.
No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
Guys, Kyle, it was really nice to meet you.
Good to meet you, bro. We'll link Adam. I'll talk to you soon, man. Are you in LA?
I went up to Steve. No, I'm in New York.
New York? All right, Adam, I'll see you, buddy. Easy,
what's up, bro?
Take care.
Whoa.
Did he just shut off his laptop? That's so funny. Oh my God.
When I saw that, I don't know. For some reason, I thought he was going to show cock on stream, but
so that's not.
I thought, because the camera came down, right? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like the camera's up here on his face, and all of a sudden it's down on his crotch. I'm like, whoa, what are we about to see? This is too much information.
That's actually what I want to ask you, because
wait, how do I? Why is he still in the call? Okay, here.
He's like, kick at him.
But he gets pissed at us. Understandably, he gets pissed at us for platforming. But that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is when are we supposed to say no? When are we supposed to not do certain things?
I mean, look, there are certain people that that not everyone is equipped enough to be able to talk to, because that conversation, instead of being a productive one, turns into one where they could just like do propaganda and use the platform that you have to get their message across. I would use the same principle for Nick Fuentes, for example, except with Nick Fuentes, he's a neo-Nazi, but he hasn't done literal crimes like Benjamin Netanyahu has, while also simultaneously being a neo-Nazi of a different sort. So it's even worse.
Wait, Luffy Sama says no waits, Nepo baby Hasan. I thought you liked Hasan, Luffy. What the fuck? What happened? Did Ethan Klein pay you off?
Someone like Nicholas Fuentes, and I don't think that Nicholas Fuentes is appropriate to also platform in this situation.
What do you think about the goal of the Full Sun podcast being to platform anybody? What do you think about that overall? That's the direction we're gonna go, right?
The reason why I think it's up to you guys, whatever you want to do.
Stupid.
I obviously can't advocate for deplatforming, especially in this day and age, especially in this time and place, because a lot of these institutions that would otherwise be tasked with like taking people. Hello? Oh, your camera pooped.
How did I get 83K views on my stream a couple of days ago? I don't know. Shorts chat, tell me, why do you love me so much? I'm just a popular lady when it comes to shorts. When it comes to the shorts audience, they love me so much, right? I had one person just tell me I'm a 10. I don't believe that, but apparently that's how they perceive me over there. So yeah, it's that.
For a second, a lot of these institutions that are tasked with deplatforming people spend way more time
We're transforming the fuck out of this content, rope watching.
Platforming someone like myself, or at least trying to deplatform.
Now go shoot some rope.
But now there are freaking communist invading radicals.
Go shoot some ropes.
Someone like myself for having a consistent moral anti-genocide and anti-Zionist position than people who are actually anti-Semitic. They call me anti-Semitic, despite the fact that I'm not anti-Semitic. The reason why I would still choose not to platform neo-Nazis and things of that nature, regardless of how equipped I am at talking to them about these issues and being able to push back adequately, is because a lot of these guys are simply looking for any opportunity to get their message to a broader audience. They don't actually care about the truth. They don't actually care about coming across like a good or bad. They just want to be heard, because every single time they go in front of a larger audience, they end up winning over some people in the margins to their side.
This is what I was trying to tell you earlier, right? They're going for the margins. Bibi Netanyahu knows that he's unpopular. He knows that even in the audience of the Nelk Boys, he's unpopular. That much is clear from their comments, right? He doesn't think that he's gonna like win over, their audience isn't gonna go from like, I don't know, 60% anti him to being like 60% pro him. But all he needs is a few percentages. All he needs is a little bit here and there to keep going like he's been going, to keep he's got a good thing going, Chad. He's getting, the United States pays for Israel's military adventurism at this point, right? Both in terms of offensively, in terms of the ethnic cleansing that they're doing in Gaza and in the West Bank, in terms of the acquisition of more lands for Greater Israel, i.e. the Golan Heights, i.e. their recent project in Israel, i.e. their constant push into Lebanon, and they got this great defensive backup too when they get into some shit, when they fight somebody like Iran who might actually strike back. Well, that's okay, because we got the Iron Dome. And as long as they know that they are covered by the global hegemon, the largest military in the history of the earth, Netanyahu can do whatever the fuck he wants. And that's what they're not getting. He doesn't need to win over a majority, right? They don't have anywhere close to a majority of a support in the United States of America. And yet, when that bill came up to possibly defund Israel, to possibly defund like the military support the United States is giving to them, they had over 400 votes. That is the vast majority of the Congress against it, right? So, they don't need much. They don't need much at all. And these guys, they're too stupid to realize. I'm sorry. I said I was trying to not to be like ableist to podcast bros. I know I don't want to hurt their feelings. or anything like that. But yeah, they just don't get that that's what they're being used for. That Netanyahu is literally fucking using them as a fleshlight.
Okay.
Okay, maybe not literally.
And if you understand that they are not honest brokers here, that they don't like care about, back and forth discourse, then ultimately you're playing a role in allowing people to be recruited to that side. You're playing a role in getting more people to be recruited to neo-Nazis, to neo-Nazi groups. And I think that ultimately that is very dangerous.
That's why we're going to have both sides on.
But having both sides on doesn't actually make up for that. Is my point.
I agree with you too.
Yeah, they keep on bringing up this both sides thing. They're going to bring on a pro-Palestinian person apparently next week, and that's their excuse of like why it's not irresponsible of them to bring on Netanyahu for a vibe sesh. Right? They're just not getting the point, unfortunately.
And then there's also no comparison to Benjamin Netanyahu on the other side anyway.
Hasan, I've told you multiple times. Me and Kyle disagree with a lot of things Netanyahu.
Yeah, that's right. You did tell him multiple times. You're repeating yourself, and it's not any more irrelevant. It's not any less irrelevant this time than it was from the first 5 times you said it. Come on.
It's done. We do not agree.
But
we stand neutral on this. But I mean, I understand the whole problem is platforming. But that's what we're gonna have. For me,
it's not platforming. That he's not getting it. He's not fucking getting it. Like Hasan made a point that this is not a platforming issue. Like platforming issue is the idea that like somebody's going to get more popular if I let them on my broadcast, right? That's not what he's saying. That's not what he's saying. Netanyahu's got, pretty like global name recognition. It's not an issue of platforming, right? It's an issue of humanizing a person that most of the world recognizes as the purveyor of a genocide, and just kind of nibbling around the edges of like, oh, he can't be that bad. I mean, he was just chilling. He was just chilling with my favorite parasocial podcast dudes, right? And so actually, Bibi, he's just like me, and that is a very helpful thing to Bibi Netanyahu.
Each side, a representative that's going to tell us exactly what
well, like, the best possible thing you guys could have done before this interview, I mean, the best possible thing would have been to not have this interview at all.
Seth Lamambard says, fuck Hasan, fuck Neck, fuck Bibi, fuck Trump, fuck all of it, dude. Use your eyes and live your real life, you say from Shorts Chat.
But the second best possible thing, if you were like adamant about having this interview, would have been to potentially bring someone that is knowledgeable before you did the interview, so it didn't just simply so that Benjamin Netanyahu didn't use you guys like a fleshlight, is what I'm saying, to just make himself look like not the demon that he is, but instead of a personable person. Like here, I have something here that was sent to me from an excerpt from the interview that you guys conducted, where you asked him if he prefers, Burger King or McDonald's or whatever. And it's really interesting because like people have yelled at me for doing this with like a dude in Yemen that they claim is a terrorist. Okay. That dude is a 19-year-old in Yemen. He has no power. He holds no power on the planet. He is at any given moment.
I mean, it just came up in the conversation.
At any given moment, he could be assassinated by American bombs, by Saudi bombs, or any other. Like, he is one of the least powerful people on the planet. This Benjamin Netanyahu is one of the most powerful people on the planet. So in this opportunity, instead of humanizing him, you guys could have had someone that is knowledgeable enough not to ask that question. And instead, when you say, like, are you starving children? And he says no, the person could turn around and say,
for sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, Hasan, you make a great point, and I understand your comparisons to Hitler. I see your perspective, and yeah.
And I agree with you that Hitler's bad. Yeah, Hitler bad. Definitely, Hasan.
I think
but we're still having Netanyahu on.
The Folsom Pod, like I told you, we're just not here to choose the guests. We're going to have anyone on, even if it is a wanted war criminal, and we're just going to let the viewers decide. And I think they spoke very clearly, and I don't think just because we platform people that people fall for the person's message.
Yeah.
Like I don't. That's just the bottom line. Like, go look at the comments.
We give you an
I just don't think that. I don't think that you guys would do that. Is my point. Like, if there, because there's no other. Because you already said
it's
you wouldn't.
evident.
You
It's
already
evident
said you
that
would
I think
not,
we're-
if
I
given the
think we're just
opportunity, you would
giving-
not interview Adolf Hitler. So there is a limit to it. Like there's an upper limit.
Well,
And
we
it's not
didn't
because
say
he's-
that. We didn't say that. We said a type of. We said a type.
But also Hasan, it's crazy. And
I think it's evident that just because we platform someone, just because Nelk sits next to them, doesn't mean we agree with everything they say or do. One, because we definitely don't. And number two, just because we platform someone, it doesn't. Our viewers are fucking smart. Like, go read the comments. Like,
Yeah, but
there's
also
proof that just because we have someone on, it doesn't necessarily mean a W for the guest.
No,
Hasan, I'm gonna point out
I
one
understand
thing.
that.
Go ahead
There
and
are plenty of
respond.
people
The
that I
comments
disagree
today-
with that I communicate
comments are
with.
proof.
But there's a difference between, there's an upper limit to it, is my point. And that upper limit is like far past when it comes to someone like Benjamin Netanyahu. My limit is far before Benjamin Netanyahu. It's someone like Nicholas Fuentes or someone like Andrew Tate.
Have they had? Oh wait, they did, didn't they? Did they have Nick Fuentes on after the Netanyahu? Was that? Oh no, chat! Please don't tell me that's their like both sidesing of it, right? Yo, we had Netanyahu on, but no, we also had Nick Fuentes, right? Who disagrees and says Netanyahu is a bad man. There we go. Yeah, I guess it's you did a good job, boys. You did a really good job. You hit both sides. Good job. You brought. Did they have talked to Fuentes, right? In the past, did they talk to him? I feel like I did see them. I feel like they did bring him on, right?
But even if I were to engage with people like that,
Cranky Koala says, "Are you a dude? No, are you a koala?
It depends on.
Are you cranky? Do you need some eucalyptus? Maybe go back in your tree and eat that eucalyptus, okay?"
The platform that they have and how much prominence and how much influence they hold over a large enough audience, because I feel like it's unproductive, it's counterproductive if they hold no staying power whatsoever. So I'm not saying that it's bad to interview Benjamin Netanyahu, but if you were going to do that, it's such a
Fuentes, Nico, and Myron Gaines they're pro-Palestinian voices. Oh my god.
Important task that you have to take it seriously, and you have to have someone who is knowledgeable to be able to push back, because he's a liar.
Son, you're missing the point. As you know, then they're going to be very specific with who they allow.
Wait, did somebody just tell me to eat their ass in Hebrew? Is that what that was? Is that what that said? I don't remember the alphabet that well, but
To interview them. We've already covered that, right? Is his PR team going to allow him to go on a Hasan Abi live stream? Probably not.
No, of course not. They would.
Someone that's had Trump on 3 times.
No, I think. Listen, I think we're gonna wrap this up soon. It's fine.
Wait, last thing I want to ask.
We're in Europe.
chat, they're gonna wrap it and we're gonna wrap it really quickly. We're at 50% out of 100. We missed the butterfly goal for the last, I don't know, 5 days, week, I'm not sure. And looks like we're gonna miss out on Willie Mack versus Bad Empanada.
So last thing, we text off stream. Obviously, we are boys. We talked about lifting together, hooping together. So there are things.
It isn't bad to interview anyone. Daniel Bridge, what if the person that you were interviewing used you? Like, right? What if you were like less intelligent than the person that you brought on? Like, what if it was an alien and the alien had a cool cookbook to sell? It's called To Serve Man, right? And you're like, well, it's not bad to platform somebody. It's not bad to, we're just spreading information, right? And the information was like the alien mind controlling humanity to like, to get in the giant frying pan to get cooked, right? I'm sorry. This is a wild tangent that I'm on, but I hope you appreciate it.
Because it was so peaceful up here, but now there are freaking.
There's someone who appreciates it. Thank you, Melissa Guzman.
Things that we can't agree on, but when it comes to this stuff, it creates animosity. So I just want to point that out.
Okay, but all right, but you have to. There's a reason why there's 6,000 comments here. I'm looking at the comments right now, and everyone's cooking you guys.
We read them.
We know. It's on. We're aware. But I mean,
but see, they're just taking it as like, yeah, we did something controversial. I guess that's good, right? We're gonna piss off our. Hey, we're not audience captured, right? You know, I don't know. They're taking this as a like, you know, this is because we were brave enough to do something controversial, and they don't get it that yeah, Netanyahu just used you. This fucking monster of our age just used you to present himself as harmless. And he's not. This guy's got hundreds of thousands of bodies, okay? He's anything but harmless, right? And they're just not, they don't have the wherewithal. They don't know anything about the issue. That Netanyahu's a world leader, right? But he's not just the president of France or the president of the prime minister of England, right? He is leading a fucking ethnic cleansing mission and an expansion of greater Israel over even more of the Middle East, right? He's and they just don't have the wherewithal, right? They're too, their egos are getting blown up by the fact a world leader wants to come on and talk to us. Really? We're just some dudes. Why would he want to do that? Because you're just some dudes. And because unlike a lot of people, you don't know him, you don't know what he's about, and you don't know why people are upset with him. So you can't possibly ask the questions that he doesn't want to be faced with, right? That's the only way. So I said before, chat, this isn't about platforming, right? It's not a question of like, can you have a bad person on, right? It's more of a question of ability to provide the necessary pushback to not have the result of the interview just be a net benefit for Netanyahu, right? And they're just thinking, well, no, it's okay because we're doing both sides. We're going to have a pro-Palestinian person on next week. So there we go. Both sides covered. Any damage caused by the Netanyahu interview is going to be undone by our interview of our pro-Palestinian next week. Don't worry. We also had Nick Fuentes on. He doesn't like Netanyahu. We had Sneeko on. We had Myron from Fresh and Fit on. Don't worry. We got all our bases covered. And they don't get it. It's not just two sides, right? There's not just two sides. You don't have to choose between, endorsing a fucking genocide in Gaza or being anti-Semitic. Those are not your choices. There's another way to be, which is like anti-genocide, no matter who's on the line, no matter who's on the chopping block. And that's what never again is supposed to mean. That was the lesson that we were supposed to learn from the Holocaust. And it has not been, we got 404 file not found from the Nelk Boys, unfortunately.
Now that should be evident that the Folsom podcast has people on and the viewers decide.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
All right. Good luck, guys. You should have Gabor Mate or Gabor Mate is a Holocaust survivor.
I'm gonna have Steiny. Text you, and if you do.
Okay, I will. I will send you people to interview. But if you were to ask me ahead of time, I would have told you not to do this interview. For the record, I only found out after you did this interview.
But when he texted me, and he said, "Yo, you had so and so on the podcast!" Exclamation point. Was that more of a shock or?
Yes,
what was that?
It was a shock.
Shock factor. Okay, making sure.
Wait, I'm sorry. What did they just ask?
But if you were to ask me ahead of time, I would have told you not to do this interview. For the record, I only found out after you did this interview.
But when he texted me, and he said, "Yo, you had so and so on the podcast!" Exclamation point. Was that more of a shock or?
Yes,
what was that?
It was a shock.
Shock factor. Okay, making sure. Hasan, thank you so much.
All right.
Okay, so they texted him, and when they said we had Netanyahu on, his reply was exclamation point. They're just wondering what he meant by the exclamation point.
Bye, guys.
Talk to you soon, bro. All right, take care.
Oh, ay. Don't send him Norm. He's not good on podcasts. No, I wouldn't. Gabor Mate, I think, would be better than. No, I think. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I think they realize they bit off more than they can chew because like everyone's cooking them. Zero pushback. You literally just let a war criminal talk freely for an hour to millions of fans. Just horrible. You guys are
so peaceful up here, but now there are freaking communist invading radicals.
The Nelks also are at a certain level where even if they had a lot of people in their audience decide, to never fuck with them again, it wouldn't be that big of a loss, right? They could lose a substantial portion of their audience and still have more audience than they need. they would still have the momentum, and they would outgrow any loss of audience that they experienced because of this, right? The other thing that they're going to experience from this is that they have shown to the Trump administration, to the White House, that they are reliable, useful idiots. That anytime somebody one of Trump's allies is in trouble, they can always send them on the Nelk Boys, and they're gonna be presented as just some dudes vibing. And that's that makes them useful. That makes them useful to Trump. Yeah, and yeah, people that are the pro-Israel side is losing so bad in the PR war that anybody that advances their cause, as the Nelk Boys just did, is gonna be rewarded, right? They're gonna there's audience, right? Which no doubt, given this comment section, it sounds like they'll lose some audience from this, but there's also access. And unfortunately, they're going to gain access. They're going to gain access to more people, more world leaders, more controversial figures, because they've just shown that they're a very useful fleshlight to anyone out there doing an ethnic cleansing. And yeah, so people in chat are hypothesizing maybe they do understand the downside to this. Maybe they're playing ignorant on not pretending not to understand the problem that Hasan has, and maybe they just don't care because it's so good for their career that it just doesn't fucking matter. But either way, chat.
Truly, that's what it is. What's up?
Either way. All right, so if you have just joined me for the first time, I am nocommentchick. I stream most nights a week at what would you say, like 7, 8 o'clock Pacific time, 10, 11 o'clock Eastern time. And I don't always do a short stream, so make sure to follow me if you haven't already. If you want to see when I go live next, we are about to, let's say, I think we're to end the short stream now, so hope you had fun. And you got my socials there to follow me on. You also have the chance, if you want to, because we're not ending the stream just yet, just the short stream. So if you want to join us over on Wides, be my guest. In fact, oh my God, should I do this? I think it'll raid you into shorts. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. And what I'm gonna do is give my chat a little preview of what we've got on the way for tomorrow. So if that sounds interesting to you, if you'd like to know what I'm covering next, yes, it may be Hunter Biden. Then come along with us and join us then. If not, it's been good having you along for the ride, and take care of yourself and take care of each other. Anyway, I'm going to end the shorts chat. And there we go. All right, so like I said, chat, yeah, only 40,000 views on this stream. So yeah, Vadim, I think I'm falling off.